Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Study Nursing by Sense Schools. Today in this video I will take you through a small topic which is thermoregulation. As everybody knows, thermo means temperature and regulation means how it is regulated. So it is a type of homeostasis or the mechanism that exists within the body to regulate and to establish a balance. So in this video, you are going to learn about four different mechanisms that helps maintain the thermoregulation in the body. We do that, I'll also share with you two terminologies. One is homeothermy and another is poikilothermy. So when we talk about these two terms, I am sure you have otherwise learned or heard about warm blooded animals and cold blooded animals. So these terms are otherwise scientific terms. That indicates homeothermy, the warm-blooded animals, and poikilothermy, the cold-blooded animals. When we talk about the warm-blooded animals, they require a large amount of energy to generate that heat when they live in the land. Whereas when we talk about the marine animals or animals living in the water body, most of the temperature regulation is done by the water bodies. All right, so that's a major difference when it comes to the consumption or generation of energy. In short, warm-blooded animals need to create a bit more amount of energy compared to the cold-blooded animals. So that's a difference, and it's an interesting term to note as well. So homeothermy as well as poikilothermy. Having said that, we'll go to the next a slide, and with this I'm going to introduce to you four different mechanisms that helps our body to generate and to establish a balanced heating system. First we have this thing called sweating. We all sweat, right? Let's recall the situations when we sweat. Usually when we do an exercise, when it is hot, these are the conditions where we sweat. So this is a mechanism that our body adapts to cool down the system. All right, so when a heat is generated, when excess heat is generated to cool down the body, the sweat glands in the skin, deep under the skin, gets activated. It generates sweat and it cools down the body. So this is the mechanism number one to regulate temperature inside the body. And this is the mechanism number two. As the picture or the image indicates, it's the function of the blood vessel. So when it is heat, when it is hot or cold, the blood vessels either dilate or constrict in order to establish a normal heating system. I'll give an example. When you go to a cold environment, the body is losing the heat, right? So, in order to prevent that, the blood vessel constrict in order to preserve the heat inside the body. And likewise, when you go to a temperature or a climate where it is so much hot, what happens, to cool down the body, the blood vessel dilate. As a result, you feel that hot flushes in the skin, and you also tend to sweat. Why? Because everything is dilated, and the heat and the cooling system is activated. So this is the mechanism that is taken up by the blood circulation or the blood vessels. Let's talk about the muscle contraction. I don't think I need to explain a lot about this. So whenever we feel cold, our muscles tend to contract, and that we call shivering. And with shivering, considerable amount of heat is generated inside the body, and it helps establish a normal balance in the temperature. And the next one is insulation. In insulation, when we talk about birds or animals, they have the feathers, they have the fur. But human beings, yes, we do have body hair, but not that much to speak about. So for insulation, to protect the heat from the body, we wear clothing, and it depends on the climate or the region you're living. when it talks about the clothing that you wear. For example, if you live in a tropical country, you would dress accordingly to preserve the heat or to make sure that your body is cool. Whereas when you live in a cold country, you dress likewise. So this is a mechanism that we adapt to adaptive to ensure that the thermoregulation is established in the body. And with this, we have discussed about the four different mechanism of thermoregulation in the video. First one is sweating, and second is the blood circulation. Third one is contraction of muscles, and fourth one is insulation. I know you most of you are already aware, but I thought to make this video to ensure we all have a brush up of learning. And if you consider this video was meaningful for you, if you consider this video was a refresher of learning for you, please like this video and make sure that you're sharing with your friends who are interested in learning as well. So good luck and thank you for watching.